what we have here is a Petromax generator. It had a failure. I ordered a replacement, and of course it was too long. So here you can see plainly the original one had a failure. The mantle had burned through. Put a hole in the generator, catastrophic failure. And I had like a Wisconsin repair or something. So I had to shorten up the replacement. Here, of course, I had done that, brazed it on. Now I'm facing the end. In this step right here, what we're seeing is I am going through and I'm truing up where the syllabraze was. So the nut has a nice square surface to fall against. You can see in the process there's different ways to hold this. The machine being utilized here is a Moore 1.5 jig bore. It's a birthday jig bore for me. The machine's practically brand new. There's different ways to hold this. There's different ways to machine it. If I didn't have the jig bore and that really nice Flynn boring head, I probably would have used one of the other two milling machines that I have at my disposal. They're both universal, so you can tip the head on its side, and then you set up, and of course you get a nice work surface, a table, everything's positioned. A universal milling machine is much different than a Bridgeport. It's a tool room mill. Horizontal, vertical head, horizontal spindle, vertical spindle. So what we're doing here is now I'm cutting, of course, the sealing surface for it to go into the body of the fuel valve. I guess you could, no, you can't do this with a file and have it come out properly. I could have done this also. I do have a lathe, or I think there's 7 lathes. I think I have 7 mills and 7 lathes, plus a jig bore and a couple of grinders. 1 surface grinder, 1 cylindrical. But you could have done this. I do have 1 lathe. And the through hole in the spindle is large enough where I could have chucked it up because of that Preston loop. It causes a little bit of a conflict. You can't really cut that off. So what's happening here is the sealing surface is being cut, finished up actually. I'm just about done. And then very shortly in the next video, what you're going to see is the lantern operating happily. So this is another project. I wanted to get to this, and I finally did. It's been sort of sitting there on the back burner. It happens. It appears to be functioning. I should have made a sleeve up so I didn't put the screw directly on the generator. I did leave a dimple. I guess if that's my biggest sin. But this is in the warm-up stage. This lantern actually is pretty much to go everywhere, do everything. Great deal of time on it. I have 3 or 4 of them.